Transmissions will soon. We'll try to push drugs to keep us all dumbed down and hope that they will never see the truth around. Another promise, another scene, another package lie to keep us trapped in greed. Another green bells wrapped around our minds, and endless red tape to keep the truth confined. They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious.
Hello, everybody. Give me 1 minute. I am pulling up Rockfin. Let me see. There we go. Oh, Rockfin. All right. So, as you guys can see, we are sans Andrew tonight. So we have Matt as a special guest host.
Hello, everyone.
Andrew is taking some. What's that?
I just said hello, everyone.
Oh,
Sorry.
So Andrew's taking some time off. I'm not sure how long. He needs some I need to be off of the internet time. Our mental health is shit right now because of
Yeah.
Just everything. So I respect his decision. We're still BFFs. So there's no tension or anything. It's just, Matt's going to be my co-hostess with the mostest, while Andrew takes a break, however long that may be. So that is the first thing. I have a really big announcement I'm going to make at the end of the show. But for now, dun dun dun. Oh, also interested. Matt and I were just talking about this. We were joking about names that we could. I don't want to use postmortem breakdown because that's me and Andrew. So, but what's a cool name me and Matt can use? Like, I always think about something like punk rock, like The Damned or something. But if you have any ideas, throw them in the comments. I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
Or it could be something very random that may work. Someone I remember when I first when I first started my show 7 years ago, and people started calling me Savage. That's how it just started out as Joy, and then it evolved to Savage Joy after people would say, "Oh my God, that's Savage, that's Savage." And this group, some of them still watch, but this group of viewers, they started calling themselves Savengers, like scavengers. I was like, oh my God, I love it. I have a little cult. It's like a little cult. I love
it.
You're my Scavenger. Savage and her Scavenger, the King Scavenger. And then when I was coming up with a name for my show, probably, I guess it was 3 years ago when I came up with the Unruly Hour, someone picked Mansplaining, MANN. And I thought, you know what, that is brilliant. But I feel like every time I said mansplaining, I would invite Hillary supporters to come in and be like, oh my God, I hate men. And then it would just be endlessly frustrating. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. But anyway, yes. So I took the week off last week. 2024 has been pure hell. It's been between my friend of 15 years dying, and my someone breaking into my credit card and my bank account, stealing over $500 out of my checking account, getting $210 in overdraft fees because they took all my money and nothing's in it, them fighting and saying they don't want to give me the $505 back because it was used
Ugh.
to do online gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fuck January, fuck 2024. It's been 2 weeks from fucking hell. So now we're gonna try to have some fun. So, and I don't know if
Okay.
these topics are fun, but we're going to still enjoy each other's company.
Okay.
So, Matt, what is the first thing we have on the agenda?
Well, this is a post from Lucy on Twitter. Apparently, Biden and Netanyahu have not spoken in 3 weeks amid a split over the war. So let me open up the news article. This is from
Really
MSN.
don't like how X is doing that bullshit where you can't tell it's an article. It just looks like a
It
picture.
looks like an image, right?
Yeah.
It's throwing me off when I'm going to look at stuff.
Yeah.
Just click everything, and sometimes it's an image, sometimes it's a link. You don't know.
Right.
But here's the actual article. Joe Biden has reportedly not spoken to Benjamin Netanyahu in 3 weeks, amid a growing split between the pair over the Israeli prime minister's handling of the war in Gaza. So apparently the White House is dismayed by Mr. Netanyahu's lack of vision for ending the conflict. I hope that's true. I hope
But here's
this
the
article is
question.
true.
Have you sent money and weapons in the past 3 weeks? You sure as fuck have. But you haven't talked to him, and you're dismayed by the handling, but you're still sending money and weapons. Yeah, I think this is like someone, like a staffer, planted this article to try and save face because Biden is 100% going to lose. And it's, look, he can stop sending them money and, war vessels and things like that. That would be the smallest of breadcrumbs. But
that's where we start.
Yeah.
That's where we're supposed to start.
Like, oh my God. I just pumped out an article last night. My comrade Elias Cepeda, who you guys know from the show, he's going over it and editing because I banged it out in 3 hours last night because I wanted to do something special for the 100 days. But something I was talking about is, do you want to read that comment?
Yeah, Miguel just says, yep, they're trying to clean up Biden's image, but it's useless.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to Michigan. We've talked about it on the show, Andrew and I, how Michigan, it has the #1 population of Arabs in the entire United States. And Biden literally announced he's going to Michigan to meet with Arab voters who continuously have been protesting with signs, "You lost my vote. I will never vote for you. Good luck." So in any case, yeah, the article I wrote last night that I'm going to be putting out hopefully tomorrow, it touches on the fact that even if these attacks stop today, which they won't, but even if they did, now what? Are we going to send them carpenters? Are we going to send them supplies to rebuild their communities? They're still not going to have food, water, housing, places to pray, places to go to school. Are they really going to be living or existing, or is there any chance for them to thrive at this point? And
Mhm.
also an update. I don't believe I put this in the links for tonight, but Netanyahu came out and said that he is putting up a barrier for between Gaza and Egypt. There was like a little thing that was open for essentially for Palestinians to go to Egypt. It's not open. They said it would be open for 24 hours on October 7th. Let's be
Mhm.
generous and say it was. I've talked to people in Egypt who say it was not. We'll be generous and say it was. That was 100 days ago. I mean, at least he's admitting it's closed off now. Now the people in Cairo are waving Palestinian flags. They are out there in mass. They are protesting and banging on the wall that is going up. So, I mean,
Cool.
I spoke to these two gentlemen in Egypt on a Spaces, X Spaces a few weeks ago. And they
Mhm.
said, look, we're in Egypt and we're not far from the Palestinian border. We have tried to get there and help people come back with us. We have offered them to stay at our house, to feed them, to clothe them. We can't get over there and they can't get over here. So, and this was like
Mm.
at least 3 weeks ago. But now they're officially putting up this border, this wall.
It
What are
seems
your
bad.
thoughts?
Um, yeah, this article doesn't say anything about a wall, but I believe you.
There is, I just took a picture of the one article. Yeah, protest in Cairo. Yeah. Let me just send this to you. There we go.
Okay.
Protest in Cairo. Yeah, they mad. And it is yet another example of how the government does not work for the people. Like, they don't want this.
اعبر بينا وبين اهالينا اعبر بينا وبين اهالينا الصهيوني متحكم فينا الصهيوني متحكم فينا طول ما الدم العربي رخيص 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 يسقط اي رئيس يسقط اي رئيس طول ما الدم العربي رخيص طول ما الدم العربي رخيص يسقط اي رئيس يسقط اي رئيس عملوها احمد مانديلا عملوها احمد مانديلا عملوها احمد مانديلا عملوها احمد مانديلا احنا بخوف وفي عار ومذله احنا بخوف وفي عار ومذله عايزين المعبر مفتوح عايزين المعبر مفتوح عايزين المعبر.
All right. I don't know what they're saying. Wait. Is it this?
It's
What a
I
shame.
believe
What a
it
shame.
says it in the description.
Okay. What a shame. What a shame. Egypt is participating in the siege.
Yeah. So here you have citizens of Egypt saying, fuck you, we don't want this. Just like citizens of the United States are saying it, just like citizens of UK are saying it. It's like,
Yeah.
I've tried to believe for the 7 years I've done this show. I've said so many times, the power of the people is stronger than the people in power. Is it? Really?
Is it really?
Because millions of us have been in the streets for 101 days. So, I mean, I just don't know.
Yeah.
What's that say?
There's a comment says, beautiful chant. I liked it too.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And, you know, I admire so much the way that they were like, this news literally came out a couple hours ago. And they're like, nope, let's do this shit right now. Like, let's not waste any time. And, you know, like I said, that was the only sliver of land that it was somewhat feasible. So now they have a wall, and, you know, they can't get through on Israel. And now they can't get through on Egypt. Like, it's literally impossible. So tell me again how this is not genocide. Tell me how this is not a siege and ethnic cleansing. And, you know, they are literally trying to box them in so they can kill them all. I mean, this is so apparent every day, more and more. And you're going to have these, you know, all these people like, well, if they don't want to deal with this, they should just leave. Okay. How? Absolutely crazy. And an article came out yesterday. I didn't include it. There was so much to include for the topics tonight, about how Israel is suffering with their numbers of people who are signing up for the IDF. They're worried. Not as many people are signing up as they would have liked.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme around the world. I think people are just fed up with
Yeah, absolutely.
it. I don't know. Kind of seeing through it, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some people really are waking up. I think, you know, I wrestle between, do I feel like it's, you know, too little too late, or am I glad it happened eventually? Or, you know, it's kind of like, what the fuck took you so long? But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, that's another person on our side, so to speak. What do you think? What are your thoughts when you see like people finally coming around?
I think it's good. I'm here for it.
I just kind of like, I can't help but wonder what's it going to take before more do. Like, it took this for them, you know, 24,000 people massacred, over 2 million without homes, no food, no water, no electricity, 50,000 women in Gaza who are pregnant, who, I mean, it took all of these things to get these people after 100 days to finally concede and say, you know what, it's gone too far. So what will it take for more? That's what's scary. I just don't know.
We'll find out, or shit will get worse and worse and worse. I don't know. I mean, it's one of the two.
Yeah.
Sad to think about, though.
It is. It really is. What do we have next?
We have a something happened at the White House, far worse than January 6th. Let me see.
Oh yeah, I was there. So I went to DC on a Saturday. There were over 100,000 of us.
All right. What's that gas in the
It's
air?
like a little like foghorn thing.
Okay.
It was like spraying out like red.
Oh,
and
I see.
green
It's
fog.
red and green. Okay.
Yeah, it was like, I'm not sure what it looked almost like a spray paint can or something. It smelled awful, whatever it was. I'm not sure what it was, but I was like,
Right. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, it felt good. Yeah, there were over 100,000 of us in the streets chanting, marching. There were speakers like Cornel West and, you know, Jill Stein and Medea. And I mean, just some, I think the speakers went for like want to say over 3 hours. And then we marched, and it was so beautiful because it takes us like, I would say, I don't know, 3.5 hours to get to DC. And I was with one of my girlfriends who is from Iran. And so of course this is, very personal to her, as a Muslim and someone who was an immigrant when they came here, and someone whose country, where her parents and brothers and everyone is also, dealing with their own conflict right now. And so we left when it started getting dark, because we're like, oh my God, it's like a 3.5 hour drive. And we were beat. I mean, it was like a 12-hour day before we left and got home. So we're starting to leave, and some other people were leaving too. And it was just like, so people were breaking off. And all of a sudden, we just all started chanting and like doing our own little march and doing our own, like, there were like people walking to their cars that still had drums, and we were waving our flags and our signs. I just got goosebumps. Like, it was so amazing. It was like, we're not going to stop just because we're going to the garage. We're just going to keep going. It was so organic and so beautiful. And, we just like hugged each other. And it was the solidarity with people who protest for Palestine is truly beautiful. It really is. Like, you will just stand next to people and you'll tell each other you love them, and genuinely so. It's truly incredible, because at the end of the day, we're not just protesting against genocide. We are protesting for love. We are protesting for humanity. We are protesting for the betterment of people who are being absolutely massacred. So that's the entire underlying thing. Is this is about love. This is about humanity. And it really shows through when you're at these marches and protests and surrounded by these people who just, there's all that one common goal to end what is going on and help the Palestinian people.
Indeed. There's another video here.
Fuck Joe Biden.
How many have you turned in Israel? Huh? How many? How many have turned in Israel?
I think I put a picture in the chat of my favorite sign that I saw on Saturday. I see, because of my blindness, when I go to things like marches, I literally just hold my phone up and go and just take pictures, and then hope I get some things at the end, because I can't see what I'm taking pictures of. So I was just taking pictures of who I thought had signs up. And when I saw this sign, when I got home and started looking at my apps, I almost peed my pants.
Is it this? Abu Kara, I condemn your mother for not swallowing. Hashtag free my people. Hashtag save Gaza.
Oh my God. Like, seriously, slow clap. Hero. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I mean, that is just fuck yes. I love crassness, and I love the fact that, basically, if his mom would have swallowed, we wouldn't have to deal with his sociopathic, psychopathic, genocidal self.
I've heard that any kind of condemnation involving a person's mother is the worst. It's like the
Yo
highest
mama.
level of it's
Yeah, absolutely.
it's getting right to the heart of it.
Yep. That made me giddy. I love it. Much love to whoever that person is. You're my hero.
Indeed. I have something from The Onion.
Oh, from today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MLK's family urges nation to spend the anniversary of his death twisting his words to fit their own political agendas. And then there's a comment, it has already begun. Okay, I'm just going to read this tweet from Brian Sugar. Peace for Israel means security, and we must stand with all our might to protect its right to exist, its territorial integrity. I see Israel as one of the great outposts of democracy in the world, and a marvelous example of what can be done, how desert land can be transformed, and it goes on. And then there's a comment to that one. You conveniently forgot a part, but I think for the ultimate peace and security of the situation, it will probably be necessary for Israel to give up this conquered territory, because to hold on to it will only exacerbate the tensions and deepen the bitterness of the Arabs.
Exactly.
I like it.
But that. And he was so freaking right. But also, I think people need to understand MLK Jr. said that, even that part they chose, way before 2008, way before 2013, way before 2018, and way before 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to have that context. That was way before, back then, all people really knew were what historians said about what happened since 1948. There was no social media. There was history was really whitewashed. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
So to even take that quote and be presumptuous he would still say such a thing is conjecture. I can't speak for the dude. He's passed away, but I can say I really doubt he'd be cool with this, and I really doubt he'd side with Israel. And we know his daughter came out for a ceasefire in October when it started, and she has spoken out on Gaza, on Palestine, over and over again.
Bernice King?
Yes.
Yeah. Dear politicians and political influencers, when you evoke my father this MLK Day, remember that he was resolute about eradicating racism, poverty, and militarism, and about corrective justice work. Don't just quote him. Encourage and enact policies that reflect his teachings.
Dr. King, that the war in Vietnam could be stopped now without harm to this country?
Well, there are two ways to deal with it. One is a unilateral withdrawal. I don't oppose that because I feel that this is a possibility. After all, France withdrew unilaterally from Algeria. It withdrew without a military victory. Mm-hmm. And this did not lessen France's prestige or influence in the world. If anything, it increased its prestige in the world.
France is not the power that this country is.
Well, I think that's an even greater reason why we should restrain our power. There's always the danger that any nation will abuse its power. And I think our power must be much more than military power. We don't need to prove to the world or anybody our military power. I think we've got to prove our moral power.
Do you feel that this nation has abused, as you say, their power?
Oh, I certainly do in the war in Vietnam.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's great.
Yep, absolutely. And the fact that, the first thing that started with, I guess it was I want to say it was November, but Amy Schumer, who literally is the niece of Chuck Schumer, believe it or not, she was getting attacked for saying she stands with Israel, and she used, like literally used in every sense of the word, a quote from MLK Jr. Well, people tagged Bernice, and she came out and she schooled the fuck out of her. And it was beautiful because these Zionists are trying to use him and his legacy, which is so beyond disgusting. It is so gross. Like, it's gross for MLK Jr. to even evoke his name. Are you kidding me? You lied about being in the civil rights fight. You lied about being arrested with Nelson Mandela. You talked about kids in the pool and their roaches. And you know, you have done so. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I mean, Obama's clean and handsome for a black guy. Like, I mean, the list goes on.
The list goes on and on and on.
And you're going to talk about MLK Jr. Also, let's talk about all the labor violations, all his, vetoing of unions, all of his, his can't even do $15 an hour, which is breadcrumbs that he ran on. I mean, he is the antithesis of MLK Jr. Like, the fact that he even brings up his name. Ew. Gross. Poor dude is probably like, I can't rest because these racist motherfuckers. Jim Crow Joe.
Yeah. We had a comment. A ceasefire is the only sensible way forward, from Jam on Twitter.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important to even, I stress this a lot online, that ceasefire, like when we say ceasefire, we mean permanently. I think, you see like reps and candidates and politicians, and, the more they come out and say ceasefire, you got to like read the rest of what they're saying, because they also throw in humanitarian pause and stupid shit.
Got to read the fine print.
Yeah. So we need to be like, permanent ceasefire. Oh yeah, this also happened when I was in DC.
Okay. Here we go. Protesters are throwing baby dolls. And I like this a lot.
It was intense. When I first walked up and I saw a bunch of bloody baby dolls, I was like, I broke down, just as everyone else around was.
That makes it real, man.
It does.
Realer than It
does.
I'm always looking for like new and innovative protesting strategies. I think I like this one a lot.
And keep in mind, the DC police and their cronies have to clean this up. Which, it's not just like they see it; they have to actually
put it into trash
do
bags.
something about it. Yeah. Like they can't just walk away. They have to actually dispose of this stuff. So good. Each baby doll you pick up, let that sink into your mind. And I don't know if you guys know this, Matt, you might know this because you watch the show, but the IDF actually trains NYPD.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
literally.
Gross.
Yeah. NYPD is trained by IDF, which is freaking insane. I don't know about any other police precincts or what have you, but I do know that NYPD is trained by IDF.
That's that's weird. I don't
Right?
like it.
Like, why New York? Like, why? What kind of special deal is that? Is that like,
Mhm.
you know, the first and others are coming? Like Cop City. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't put it past them to. I mean, God, they're already our best friends. I mean, why wouldn't they train our cops?
Yeah, we should just become one country with them. Just merge, and
They can
that
take
that
over
would be great.
Canada and we can just all join. Let's just all come together and become one big terrorist state. The UK can merge as well. That way the three of us essentially the only three countries who are coming out vehemently against a ceasefire, we can all just band together and live happily ever after, drenched in baby's blood. That's wonderful. Sorry for the graphic imagery, but
Yeah,
it's just, I don't have kids. I know you do.
I do.
And I can't, my friends that I went with on Saturday, they have two little boys, 5 and 1. This hits them on a whole other level. And you have little ones too.
Yes.
I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom because I know how it affects me. And it blows my mind when I see people who are parents and they still don't understand the magnitude of, these videos and these photos of
Yeah,
these
they
babies.
it's so bad that they put on blinders to it
Yeah.
and pretend it's not there.
I mean, I have someone in my life who, if I try to talk about it, she's like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Don't tell me the truth. I don't want to know the truth.
yeah. Like, she legit says, don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's like, could you be more privileged? Could you be more privileged? I mean, ugh. And then she said, I'm not taking sides. So you're the oppressor. You either side with the oppressor or the oppressed. One or the other. You side with the oppressor. What's that quote? It's like, if you are neutral in times of I forget, but you side with the oppressor. That's like exactly what this is. If you, it's so black and white.
I agree.
What do we have that's next on the
I have some stuff about South Africa.
Yay, South
So
Africa.
I'm gonna share that tab. A historical moment at ICJ, The Hague. Ladies and gentlemen, applaud the greatest country on earth, South Africa. I have not seen this, so let me see.
Was I when Gaza was going through a genocide? South Africa is here before this court in the Peace Palace. It has done what it could. It is doing what it can by initiating these proceedings, by seeking interim measures against itself as well as against Israel. South Africa now respectfully and humbly calls on this honourable court to do what is in its power to do, to indicate the provisional measures that are so urgently required to prevent further irreparable harm to the Palestinian people in Gaza, whose hopes, including for their very survival, are now vested in this court.
Seriously, look at any speech from anyone in South Africa at these hearings. Like, I really want to go there. I've always wanted to go there, but now I like really want to go there because they are just a beautiful people. And who knows more about apartheid than South Africa?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but there are over 70 countries who have joined South Africa in solidarity. Some of them are countries as a whole, as government, and some of them are organizations within the countries, but over 70 of them. So this is a
Wow.
worldwide protest. And we are the bad guy.
We're totally.
Like, America is the bad guy. Like,
No, you're not supposed to say that part out loud.
I'm ashamed to be American.
Totally. Yeah.
Now my stream's gonna get taken down. But it's true. I said it on Twitter the one day because I was just so sick of it. And I said, you know what? I am ashamed to be American. And of course you get the people, then leave. But over 500 people liked that comment. And it was just comment after comment of, I am right there with you. Thank you for being brave enough to say it. I am so there. I think the same thing. Things like that. And it's like, because I was like, I can't be the only fucking person who thinks this. Because I try to put myself in other countries' heads. And I'm like, they, if I were them, I would hate us. I would hate us. Like, and yes, we're marching in the street and we're calling our representatives but it's not doing anything.
It has no effect. We have no representation.
We don't. And you know what? So many of these fuckers are going to vote for Biden anyway. And then be like, nothing changes.
I don't think I'm ready to talk about elections yet.
Well, guess what, Boo? Tonight was the caucus, so we're going to talk
not there yet.
about
I have this other South Africa video first. Here we go.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. God bless you. Thank you, man. God bless you. Appreciate it very much. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. God bless you. Bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Oh, thanks. Here's the man. Here's the man. Here's the man.
Viva! Viva! Viva the Lady Pandor! The Iron Lady of South Africa! Absolute, absolute. The Iron Lady of South Africa! The Lady Pandor, viva! Viva! Viva the legal queen, viva!
There you have it.
Viva the legal king, viva! Viva! Viva the legal king, viva!
Viva.
Oh, it's so powerful. Ah!
We had comment from Jam. South Africa rocks.
Hell yeah. Yep. Oh, goosebumps. How, like, I don't even think I could handle being in that airport and seeing them. I just, like, I want to kiss their feet. Like, they set the precedent. Like, they just, like, it's beautiful. It really is. It's a shame it took people who have experienced this to take a stand. And, you know, I don't know if we should get into this because I don't know if I'm a pessimist or a realist. I think I'm a realist, but I can't help but think about what happens now with the trial now. What happens if South Africa is victorious? Ceasefire. If Israel is victorious, we now have every Zionist emboldened and saying, see, it's not genocide. It was proven in court. I don't know. I can't say I'm not scared.
Yeah. Who's on the court, I guess, is the question. I don't know these people.
Well, I mean, everyone in South Africa is a freaking badass. I've watched all the speakers. Now, the interesting thing is I've watched some of the clips from the Israeli speakers, and they have nothing. And I'm not just saying that because I don't side with them, but they're still pushing the anti-Semitism trope, which is, I mean, if you really still think that's what it is, you are like,
that's
really?
Such a stale, such an overused trope.
Oh God, there are Jews in Palestine, people. But yeah, I mean, there's still that thing. There's still, October 7th. There's still Hamas. There's, the online arguments. That's what they're going with. The very trite, flimsy things, whereas South Africa is providing tangibles, not just speeches, but videos and photographs. They're actually on their website. You can upload videos, photographs, things like that. You can actually upload it. So when you see these videos on social media of these IDF soldiers literally kicking, beating, and spitting on people they have just massacred, upload that shit. When you see them having a rave, having a dance party on top of bodies, upload that shit. When you see them talking to their kid and saying that they just killed a baby for them, upload that shit. Like, the amount, the hubris they have is truly mind-blowing, because they just upload videos of everything. They don't even care. And that just shows that they believe they are invincible. And people still support it. Even though they are doing the most disgusting things, they still support it.
Yeah. I know.
What do we have next on our list?
AOC has something to say about how much money she's getting. Let me
look, you guys, I know there's a genocide, okay? Let's just put that aside. AOC said she's not getting paid enough, okay? Let's be empathetic. Let's understand where this poor woman, who is obviously in poverty, is coming from.
She says, I know it's kind of a contrarian position, but she thinks $174,000 is not enough money for members of Congress. Let's see. AOC of New York has long been vocal about the need for members of Congress to get a pay bump. As it turns out, Republican Patrick McHenry, the North Carolina Republican who briefly served as interim speaker, agrees with her, recently telling the Dispatch that congressional pay needs to be raised to attract credible people to run for office. That's implying that if we don't pay them enough, they're not going to be credible.
And she just acknowledged that she works with people who aren't credible.
And I'm assuming that these people explain away this, like, if If the government paid me more, I wouldn't have
Right,
to take too many bribes, to survive. I have to take bribes from.
Granted, I only show up for 30% of the votes, and I only work 20 days a year, but I deserve more money.
So AOC has been saying this for some time, and she thinks that he's right. That they should be paid more, so that they'll be less corrupt.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, needed for anti-corruption. Go ahead.
I mean, what about, doing more Vogue cover shoots? What about doing more Vanity Fair? What about doing more appearances on RuPaul Drag Show? What about going to the Met Gala again and taking up a collection for your gorgeous dress? I know that's your only income, so I feel for you. It's not like you have like a book coming out or anything like that. I understand. And it's not like the federal minimum wage is still $7.25 after 13 years. I mean, so I feel for her. It's got to be rough. I don't think I've made that much money in my whole life combined. Maybe. I don't think I've ever made that much. In 25 years of working, I don't think I've made that much. But okay.
So I think it's enough money, but it's not really up to me now, is it?
No, you are merely a peasant.
She says that members of Congress need to maintain a residence in both Washington and their home districts. That's why they need all this extra money. It's for the 2 homes they have. And she says we need to raise the minimum wage. We need to make childcare financially viable. And we need to do that for every American. She said, we also need to do it in the House, meaning the House of Representatives.
Like, what are you doing about it? You were elected, God, I had her on my show and fucking 6 years ago, she was saying this shit.
Yeah.
Well,
what has she done?
I mean, what the fuck are you doing about it?
Search me. I don't know. There's some other representatives who disagree, I guess. Rokana says that people who make great contributions to America don't do it for the money. I think we can. I think we can attract talent without the finances.
Damn, I mean, he's rich, but damn. Bro, okay. I just talked to him yesterday and I didn't know he said that. I'll have to text him and be like, I know it's because you're rich that you said that, but I'm okay with it. That's so funny. Every now and then he's got a gem, every now and then. Usually I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this tweet about? But every now and then I'm like, all right. Very love-hate relationship, mostly hate.
We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the train derailment in East Palestine.
Yep. I was like, these Swifties are driving me insane with this shit. This talentless tart or whatever you want to say. I don't even know what the hell to call her. She's just freaking annoying and talentless. And I was like, what can I do to get attention? So I tagged Swifties in there and I'm like, come on, guys, start caring. So yeah, I'll be going back with mutual aid to East Palestine, Ohio for the 3rd time on February 1st. The 1 year is February 3rd. So I am collecting donations. I'm fundraising for them to hopefully be able to bring them some more mutual aid because the local, state, and federal governments do not give a fuck.
They really
Like,
don't.
less than a fuck.
They're really trying to not even seem like they should
Oh, yeah.
even give a fuck, like it's even something that they should do. They don't.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing to me.
It's really gross. And Matt, you've come and met me in East Palestine twice, and
Yeah,
so and you've met some of the residents. So what,
they're good
how has
people.
that affected you?
They're good people. EP is just like any small town in Ohio.
Yeah.
It has a weird name, but other than that, there's a lot of little towns in Ohio with weird names like that. Yeah, these are people, just like you and me, and it could happen to any of us if you live by the train tracks. Just saying, I'm not trying to give everyone PTSD or anything, but you're
I
not
mean,
safe.
I don't even know if you need to live by the train tracks, because this shit went
They got in the air. They lit it
over.
on
I
fire.
mean, people in Pennsylvania are affected, and West Virginia, and Virginia, and East Palestine's like on the border. So, it's not, it's not just those residents. We talked to people in Pennsylvania and stuff who have, who are still really sick. People are getting sick worse than ever before. It's absolutely awful. People are still drinking bottled water. People still don't have health care.
Yeah.
People who were fortunate enough to be, people who were within the 1 mile mark and were fortunate enough to beg Norfolk Southern to get some reimbursement for their hotels and lodging are going to lose it February because of the 1 year mark. Everyone else has stayed in their homes because it was only within a mile they did that. Here's the other thing, though. So these people are now what? They're forced to go live in their car. They're forced to go home and go back to the,
it's
the
cold.
place. What's that?
It's cold as hell outside.
Yeah. So, or they go home to the place that makes them sick as hell every time they walk in it. And guess what? Not only are they saying, fuck you, it's been a year, go back, they're also saying, we're not going to test your homes. You need to deal with it. If you want it tested, come up with a few $1,000s and fucking do it yourself, because that's not our responsibility. So it's, you're going to send people back and you're not even going to test their homes. Although, to be fair, even if they did test their homes, what would they do about it?
Well, if the results came back and they were all off the charts and clearly bad, that's something, right? I mean, they could always
don't know, man.
say like, well, there's no way to tie it to the derailment.
Well, shit, the recording I posted of me and Mark Durno. I was like, what does this? Well, if it's not this, what is it? And he's like, well, eating meat,
eating
onions and garlic and like,
that guy's so ridiculous.
you motherfucker. I have never been in a fist fight in 44 years of my life, and I have never wanted to jump across that fucking desk so bad. Like, oh my fucking God, are you really talking to us like that? Like, ugh, God. So yeah, cheer up, everyone. It's just garlic and onion. He takes B12. All good. Yeah.
All right.
So, is that the link to the fundraiser? I can't see what that is.
Yes, I put the link to the fundraiser in the
Nice. Thank you. I believe it is at $1,205, which is amazing.
Not bad.
So, it's Okay, so like to give you an example, Max Alvarez from Real News and Working People's Pod, last month we did a fundraiser for East Palestine as well for the kids for Christmas. We raised $6,650. Awesome. Here's the problem. 183 people signed up. It was only gift cards for $35. The need is so strong. So $1,200, fuck yes. But for me to go down there and, you know, and bring them more mutual aid, it's got to be more. It's got to be more. It's always the most stressful thing is raising money. That is the most stressful thing, because like, you know, you watch these like YouTube shows and people are like, here's a $20 super chat, you guys are awesome, and it's like, give that fucking $20 to people who are bathing in bottled water, you fucking twat. Like,
yep, we have a comment here from Twitter. Part of government function should be to provide clean drinking water for all.
You got it. You
like,
got
isn't that
it.
why we have these systems? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, and the lead who I was talking about that we recorded, me and two other people, the lead EPA guy in East Palestine, he's from Flint. He did one of the epic jobs in Flint. So that's obviously why they moved him to East Palestine.
Yeah,
because
he's a crisis
fucking
actor.
epic. He's wonderful.
He's so good.
He's great. So
he's
yeah.
good at making it seem like stuff is happening, but I don't think anything's really happening.
Yeah. So this is little Edward. Matt, you met Edward.
Yeah.
I love him. He's 4 and he knows how to pronounce chemicals. Like if you say to him, what's in the creek? He'll say, "Asu isn't a creeks." And he knows things he should never know. You know, Jamie's daughter, Kyla, she just turned 4. Edward and Kyla were playing outside about 2 weeks ago, and they had a soil testing strip. And Jamie went outside and she said, "What are you guys doing?" And they said, "We're playing activist." And I'm like, this is so fucked up. They're playing with fucking testing strips? Like, these kids have no fucking, you know, life outside of, you know, COVID for 3 years and now a fucking derailment for a year. It's like,
going to give them cancer, and yeah, it's going to mess them up.
Let them fucking play. Let them have. I mean, it's just, and as mothers, I talk to them practically every day, and I just can't even fathom. And that's why they keep fighting. They tell me that all the time. That's why we keep going, because of the kids, because we have to. So I don't think little Edward and Kyla realize just how inspiring they are, but they're heroes. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. They call me Auntie Joy, and Kyla believes she's coming home with me to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's not going to happen.
It might be the only way we can make this work, Joy. You have to take,
I know. Hey,
take them home
she
with you.
can look. She can come stay here. I'll give her the most candy and everything like that. She won't want to leave, and then Jamie will hate me. I'll be like, "Do you want new toys? Do you want candy? Let's go play." And then she'll go home and be like, you know, gain 15 pounds from like candy, and she'll be like, "My blood sugar's high," and like she'll be like staying up till 3 a.m. because I'll set, you know, bad precedents. And yeah. No, we'll have a slumber party. That's I won't do that to Jamie. But yeah, if you can kick in a few bucks, it'd be great. Is that all we had? I know we have a funny, but is that all we
have
had?
The Iowa caucus.
Oh yes. Well,
do you want to show it?
Before we go to that, I will make the announcement. So next Monday, Max Alvarez, as I said, from Real News, and the Working People's Pod. He has graciously asked me to come on and do an East Palestine fundraiser again. So this coming Monday, a week from today, from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. or excuse me, yes, 7 to 10. I'm booking speakers and guests, and you'll hear from residents and organizers, people like that. And we'll be trying to get these donations up there. To be quite honest, there has not been any other media who has done any mutual aid at all, except for me and Max. None. There may be another one that has gone there, but the only two independent media places who have actually given mutual aid have been me and Max. So I'm really glad to join with him. He's a wonderful person. I'm so excited. We have such a great time together. So I will be coming out with, who the speakers are and a lineup and all that stuff. But mark your calendars. It will be on his channel, the Working People's Pod. And there is a Twitter as well. So make sure you sign up for that. So yes, just wanted to announce that tonight. Also,
That's cool.
Kim Iverson is going to be having me back on. Last July, the last time, or August, last July, the last time I went down to, no, the second last time I went down to East Palestine, Kim Iverson had me on about a week prior, and her audience chipped in over $8,000, which, holy fuck, like that bought 2 U-Hauls of stuff. It did. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Can they do it again? I don't know. I hope so. So hopefully between the fundraiser with Max and Kim Iverson and, just word of mouth and sharing on Twitter, I really hope we can give these guys some more help, because they help each other and they don't have it to keep helping each other. So it's important we all chip in, especially at the 1 year, because they're not in a good place, understandably. So please, at the very least, my pinned Twitter post is the fundraiser, even if you can share that, and, or DM it to people, anything like that, even just sharing it to get it out there is definitely helpful.
Definitely.
So in any case, yes, so caucus. Dun, dun, dun.
You want to show the caucus? All right.
Yeah, let's see what the updates are.
The
I'm gonna
Iowa
guess Trump's winning.
The Iowa caucus. Let me see. Here they are. Donald J. Trump wins the Iowa Republican caucus.
What's the numbers?
53% Donald Trump, 20% Ron DeSantis, 18% for Nikki Haley.
I'm surprised. I thought Nikki would come in second. That's kind of surprising. I haven't really heard much about DeSantis. I'm not complaining, but it's really been her.
Kind of like
scares the fuck out of me.
Who does?
Nikki Haley.
Okay.
She's fucking nuts. But you know what? All the shill bots will be like, yes, queen, we finally got a woman president. Yay. Woohoo.
Because that's all that matters.
That's all I care about. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Like, you finally got your woman. Awesome. So I, exactly 4 years ago, I was in Iowa doing the caucus. I went to Iowa for over 5 weeks to volunteer for Bernie.
Yeah.
Ah.
It was
So
the right thing to do. I mean, it.
I don't regret it. It infuriates me, but I don't regret it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I went for over 5 weeks. I didn't know a soul in Iowa. I'd never been to freaking Iowa. I didn't know what I was doing. I was going blind. You know, it was like 4 degrees on a good day, snow, ice, and I'm there knocking doors, like hundreds of doors. And it was crazy. But it taught me that holy fuck, even though now I'm disabled and I'm much more blind now, but it was when I was starting to go blind. And I was
Yeah.
like, I can still do shit. And it taught me that I can still fucking push forward. I can still be an activist. I can still, talk about the issues. I can still do these things. So I certainly don't regret it. But being there caucus day, I was on the Iowa State campus, and Twitter. I've been on Twitter 5 years, I believe. And knock on wood, the only time I was shut down on Twitter was when I was live streaming at the Iowa caucus. All of a sudden, Twitter bans me. I have no page. My live stream is shut off. I can't get back in Twitter. I'm told I'm suspended, not given a reason. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I was live at the Iowa caucus. I was like, there is no way. And then next day, boom, back up. Not even an even 24 hours. That's what was weird.
Okay, I'll take him down.
Hard. Oh, Bernie, you bastard. But yeah, so, and then yeah, the campaign office, and we all went to a bar to celebrate our hard work. And then here comes that motherfucking douche canoe Pete Buttigieg on the screen. I don't think I've ever seen a collective group of people sobbing quite like that. It was basically one of the worst moments of my entire life. And it was just to give up everything, to leave your family, to leave everything and work so hard for something, and then have this fucking mouse rat fucker just come and be like, yeah, I won. And it was just like, wow, okay. My heart was literally ripped out of my chest. Everyone else was feeling the same way. And what's that say?
It's the Iowa caucuses
Oh,
results.
what is the numbers? I forget.
So Pete has 562,954. Bernie has 562,021. So it was less than 1,000 off. Is that right? No. Point. Is that point? That's a decimal point. 562.9. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, no, it's less than 1,000.
Why is it so precise? It's weird.
Because the way the caucus works, it's so hard to explain, but I had to explain it to so many residents of Iowa. I had no fucking idea what it was. I'm in Pennsylvania. But essentially you have to go to these places, you have to stand with who they'll be like, all you Biden people stand here, all you Bernie people stand here, all you Snake Warren people stand here, and then everyone goes and stands in their respective places. If there's 800, like in my caucus, there were 842 people. So when you divide that by the number of candidates, that I believe was 5. So if you didn't have at least 140 people in your group, you're out, and those people can then choose to go to my second choice is Bernie, by what have you. Funny story, Biden didn't even have half of what he needed. He was out first round. He came in 5th at my caucus site anyway.
Nobody wanted him.
Tulsi Gabbard had 2 people. She was out. Andrew Yang had 9 people. He was out. So Biden came in 4th as far as the main people. And Kamala, of course, is a fucking mess. And, Bernie had, or no, that was Kamala had already dropped. Snake Warren came in 3rd. And then 2nd was Bernie and Pete. But then here's what's crazy. The Biden voters, like I said, they were they didn't have enough. So they had to split off. You could either leave or choose to go somewhere else. I'm telling you, they all came to Bernie. I was so fucking confused. I was like, is this because it's an old white dude? Or like, why do they have Bernie as a second choice? Now I get it. Back then, I was like, they're nothing alike. What are you talking about? What are you doing? But yeah, he sure fooled us. But yeah, so. I don't regret it. It's just like hearing like Iowa caucus. I'm like, PTSD. Oh my God.
Yeah, every election year for me is kind of a PTSD for the whole year. We had a funny thing. Do you want to show the?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Here we go. Oops, sorry.
We are Zionists. Of course, we'll sponsor a birthright trip for you as long as you have one Jewish parent, or none, or you convert, or you're Christian, or whatever. We are Zionists. Of course, all innocent life taken is a tragedy. What about Palestinian children? I said innocent. Is that still on? Is that still on? We are Zionists. No one throws fast like we do. Number 1 cry bullies. We're number 1. We are Zionists. The only reason why South Africa's trying to come for us is because they're jelly. We're the home of apartheid now, ho. We're Zionists. Of course, we support the idea of ethnically cleansing an entire people and calling it voluntary resettlement. Listen, those settlements aren't going to build themselves. We're Zionists. Of course, we're from New York, but we're going to say Hamas because it sounds scary and brown. We're Zionists. Of course, we're going to try to get all your speech banned, and if you point it out, we're going to call you racist. We're Zionists. I love to remind people how dangerous it is to go over to Gaza and how unsafe you are, especially if you're queer. And I mean it. It is really unsafe. Like, really unsafe. Like, seriously, the IDF will wipe you out. We're Zionists. Our right-wing evangelical lobby is working around the clock to get boycotting banned. What lobby, bigot? We're Christian Zionists. Of course, we support all of you returning to the Holy Land so Armageddon can come and you'll all blow up and go to hell. We're Zionists. We're experts in Hamas lighting, and if you question anything our government is doing, you will be met with, but Hamas!
Queen.
But Hamas.
Queen. She does we're Israeli one too.
I think I've seen that one.
Absolutely amazing. She's so good. Did you see the We're Zionists videos that she's making fun of?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought they were satire. I was like, this is so bad. This has to be satire.
It feels like everything is these days, but I don't think that was.
Right? Oh my God. So bad. So bad. So, what have you got coming up there, sir?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have nothing. Nothing coming up.
I always ask Andrew that, and he's like, nothing much.
Existing.
I just feel like it's not polite to be like, well, I'm doing blah, blah, blah. I just,
You're the one with the things. Yeah.
Things.
You got stuff going on.
I have the things. So yeah, I'm sure I'll go live another day this week. Follow me on TikTok. I just started doing videos last month. What else? Twitter @SavageJoyMarie1. I do also put this show on Rockfin. I suggest subscribing on that as well, because sometimes they do take these streams down for me because I say some things that they don't like. Yeah, that's smash the like button, smash subscribe, and smash share. And if you'd like, smash each other, whatever makes you happy. But thank you for tuning in. Matt, thank you for being my co-host with the most.
It was my pleasure.
We will see you in a few days. And don't forget, Monday night, 7 to 10. Woo woo.
All right.
Much love, guys.
Adios, everyone.